submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. I call this TailyPo. There once was an old man who lived by himself in the forest. He had 3 loyal hunting dogs that kept him safe during the night. Nobody knew his real name, but most people just called him Swarley. One cold winter night, the old man went outside to his storage shed to see what he could find for dinner. All he could find was a small piece of fatty meat and some moldy potatoes. He had to make do. So he grabbed what was there and gobbled it down. Swarley was still very hungry, but there was nothing he could do. He had no more food left, so he stoked the fire, got in bed, and tried to ignore the blinding hunger. He was just about to go to sleep when he heard something in his room. He opened his eyes and saw a shadow creeping across the something wall. He got out of bed, slipped on his slippers, and quietly moved into the next room. There, he saw the oddest looking creature he had ever seen. It was short and stubby, with pointy ears, and short, fat feet with long claws, and a long, bushy tail. There were no doors or windows left open, so Swarley was very confused as to how it had gotten in. He quietly picked up his axe, creeped over towards the creature, and brought it down hard, right on the creature's tail. The creature let out a loud screech and escaped through a hole in the wall. Swarley was about to throw the tail out the window and go to bed when his rumbling stomach reminded him how hungry he was. So with that, the tail was cooked and he gobbled it down. Swarley had just drifted off into a deep sleep when a strange sound awoke him. It sounded like something was trying to claw its way into the cabin. Swarley knew that if he stayed quiet, it would probably go away, so he remained as quiet as he could. But then, he heard an otherworldly voice hissing outside. TailyPo, TailyPo, I want my TailyPo. Swarley thought he was imagining things, but he heard it again. TailyPo, TailyPo, I want my TailyPo. Swarley jumped out of bed, ran to the front door, threw it open, and called out to 3 of his dogs. They came running to him, sniffing and barking, but found nothing. Sleep had finally eased itself into Swarley's body once again. It was almost dawn when Swarley woke with a start. The sound of the scratching seemed to be coming from every wall in the cabin. Swarley searched for his axe, his rifle, or anything to defend himself with, but he was so frightened. Out of his panic, he couldn't seem to find anything. The scratching grew louder and louder. TailyPo, TailyPo, give me back my TailyPo. Swarley yelled back as loud as he could. I ain't got no TailyPo, so why don't you just leave me alone and get on with your business? The scratching seemed to be inside the house now, and the voice was so loud it was deafening. TailyPo, TailyPo, you took my TailyPo. Now I'm back to get it. Give it to me now. Swarley pulled the cover up over his head and stayed as still and as quiet as he possibly could. TailyPo, TailyPo, you better give me back my TailyPo. Swarley then felt the thing scratching up the bottom of the bed and onto the cover. He eased the cover down to see what was approaching him. A short, stubby creature with pointy ears, fat feet and long claws, and bloodshot red eyes that glowed in the dark. Before he could pull the cover back over his head again, the thing pounced up onto his chest, looked straight down at him, and said, You got my TailyPo, and you better give it back to me now. Swarley yelled, I ate it! I ate your TailyPo, it's gone! And with that, the thing started to scratch and claw and tear away at old Swarley, trying to get the TailyPo back. Swarley's screams echoed throughout the dark mountains, and it stopped, leaving a chilling silence. After about a month or two, without hearing from Swarley, the folks who owned the store at the base of the mountain went up to see his cabin. When they got there, they found his cabin torn to shreds, but no sign of him or the 3 dogs. As the search party was headed down the mountain, the winter wind began to blow, and a strange voice could be heard saying, "TailyPo, TailyPo, now I've got my TailyPo." I wanted to tell you guys that story because I heard it when I was in grade 4, and it stuck with me for my entire life. And it was only 2 or 3 weeks ago that I remembered the title and managed to find the actual story. And as I was reading it, I had chills down my spine and I was just absolutely terrified. If you manage to picture the creature from the story, it's not your typical, you know, evil demon dripping in blood. It's just this kind of cute creature with big yellow eyes, and it's really creepy in a different kind of way. I noticed that there's this blank spot, like right here, that's been bugging me. What better to put up there than some candy? Pop Rocks, a friend of mine gave these to me, asking me to put it on the something wall, and it's exactly what I'm gonna do. Anyway, that's it for me this week. I just wanted to creep you guys out, and I guess I will see you guys next video. Bye.
They did the mash. They did the Swarley mash.
Swarley mash.
It was a YouTube smash.
The Swarley mash.
You'll subscribe in a flash.
The Swarley mash.
They did the Swarley mash. Oh, the Swarley mash.
The Swarley mash.
It's a YouTube smash.
The Swarley mash.
You'll subscribe in a flash.
The Swarley mash.
Probably the only person I know that's good at being bad at everything.
Dude, find some weapons!